Damn. Oh, peace and blessings be upon you. This is Salam Alaikum. This is the Underground Railroad television show. Normally we come on Saturday nights at 10:30. But today we're going to talk about the virus. And you know what? I have Dr. Lee Warren on, a plum power laden man. And you know what? Dr. Lee Warren, I want to thank you for accepting the invitation to come on the Underground Railroad, and you're always welcome to come on.
Yeah.
Always, you and your wife.
Well, you can thank you for allowing me to come on your show.
Yes, sir. And can you give your people the introduction about yourself and what time your show comes on and when do y'all meet?
Okay. Well, I'm Dr. Lee Warren, founder of Plum. Plum comes on CAN TV Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30 on Channel 36, and it also comes on Thursday from 10:30 to 11 on Channel 36. We do not have any public meetings, basically, because of COVID. But you contact us at 773-509-8124, or you can contact us through email. That's Lee, L-E-E, Ward, W-A-R-Y-A-H, 45 at me.com. And you can come and register because we have online sessions. And they are usually every Thursday and every Sunday, but it's all online through not Zoom, but GoToMeeting.
And you know what, Dr. Lee Warren, when you look at the news, all you hear about is the virus, coronavirus. That's all you hear about. It's dominated the news, and righteously so, because there's many people, masses have died by it. When we talk about this, people don't believe in conspiracy theories, okay? But the virus, in your opinion, do you think that it was man-made, as it was something that's just had happened naturally?
It's all man-made. If you can follow the trend for the last 10 years, that's H1N1, that's COVID-1, what is that, the other COVID, pig virus. Listen, there was so much stuff that's happening over the last 10 years. You can almost see, and these are all man-made diseases that have wreaked havoc over most of the world's population. And most of it is due to sheer ignorance for the fact that there are cures, there are natural cures. They won't tell you. Mm-hmm. There are over 100,000 plants that are antivirus, antifungal, and antibacterial. Now, why won't they tell the people? Well, it's a means of control. You can take vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, 20,000 of those twice a day, and that'll beat off any virus. And if you need anything more, vitamin C, zinc, 2 or 4 other things. I went to a seminar for the summer up in Michigan. We didn't wear no masks. We didn't have no social distances, but we all were made to take vitamin D, zinc, and colloidal silver, and about 3 or 4 things. Nobody ever got sick. I mean,
you know what? Can you give some people some information? You saying that that the virus is man-made? Is it like a reference point to where they can go look up these diseases that are man-made, where they can look it up, where they can't say, you know what, we don't know what we're talking about, we're not even giving any evidence?
Look, you can go on Google or any internet and just put in viruses that have taken place over the last 10 years, and you get a whole host of them. Mm-hmm. And see, people's memories are short, and this happens to be one that is it's not devastating. Only less than 1% of people die. Mm-hmm. I said less than 1% of the people died. 99.5% of the people survived. So what the hell's all going on? They done shut down the economy and then crashed the whole doggone damn thing. It's over with. Small businesses, it's like 50% of the small businesses, airline is busted, hotels are busted. They never will get this mess back together.
Well, when you say something Like you saying businesses have been shut down, which is true.
And the small business has been
Do you
devastated.
believe that they have done this through a new world order system to decrease the surplus of the population because they have messed up the capital that they were supposed to invest in your retirement, your Social Security? Is that an aspect that's involved? And why?
That's one part of it.
Can you explain it?
Listen, the first thing is a means of control.
Okay.
And what I mean by means of control, if you in the house, everybody got their behind in the house, then you can't demonstrate.
Okay.
And everybody's terrified of the disease because they're totally ignorant and been dumbed down of what they can take. So folks are lining up doing a whole lot of crazy stuff. But if you don't know, the scriptures say, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. And most organizations do not inform folks on what they can do to prepare for most things. So that's what you have.
Some people believe that some people in the neighborhood believe that they intentionally did it, as you said, so people could not protest against the 5G towers that are being set up for the internet that emit tons of radiation. Is that a possibility?
That's one possibility.
They cannot protest. They cannot show their dissent towards these 5G towers.
That's one of them. But the main reason is that that's a Wuhan in China. It was made there, designed there, and China has a specific reason why they let that disease get bug wild. And one of the first reasons was to bring America down, the number one honcho down economically. If you want to hurt a country, you don't have to drop no bombs on them. You can just, if you use a model that they use in China by force, incarcerating folks in their houses, that locks the whole economy down. It kills the economy. Even if it comes back, most people are saving because they don't know when they're going to lose a job.
Yes.
Now in Sweden, they didn't do this. The country of Sweden, they let everybody walk around. Some people died, but it wasn't as devastating as it is. But like you say, the country has a lot of problems. Economically, they know the country is getting ready to go into a depression, and they have to have some means of controlling these people psychologically, or else they're going to go off.
If this is a live show, if you have a specific question you would like to ask Dr. Lee Warren, please dial that number. You know what, Dr. Lee Warren, there are people that do not believe in conspiracies. And was it not a conspiracy or a reality that when the settlers came to the United States of America, they infested blankets with smallpox to annihilate a race? I'm talking about Indians, people that were natural to the land.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't believe in conspiracies.
Well, there was a conspiracy to kill Jesus Christ or Yahshua the Messiah. So, there's always been conspiracies. Anytime two people meet for evil purposes, that's a conspiracy. So there's been conspiracies all along. But people don't know the truth from a lie. And you're living in an age where we have sophisticated propaganda that most people can't deal with. I say unaware of it. Because they lack a basic education of critical thinking. Now, critical thinking, if out of 1,000 people, 1% of 1,000 people, 10% of 1,000 people is 100, and 1% is 10. Less than 10 people, you get 1,000 people that got the disease, and only 4 or 5 die. Then the question is, this is not as serious as they make it is, and why in the hell did you shut the whole world's economy down? And it's not coming back. The small businesses is gone. What little things in the African American movement, or black neighborhood, they gone. Because they didn't have the money or revenue to sustain 3 months shutdown. Nobody can stay. The average person can't stay off his job 3 months. He dead broke.
And you know what, when we talk about conspiracies, for those people that do not believe in conspiracies, Was there not a plan called the Tuskegee experiment that ended in 1972? Is that not a, some people say that, some people think that's a lie. Can you explain what the Tuskegee experiment?
It was, listen, it's so absurd, and they wanted to find out the full outcome of what syphilis disease to a body. In other words, once it takes hold, they want to document the whole process all the way through medically till the person dies, and understand the various stages that go. So it was an experiment, like the damn Nazis.
Dr. Mengele.
Dr. Mengele and all that crazy stuff that the Nazis did on the folks. See, that was just a Caucasian experiment. If they could do it on one person, you know damn well they'd do it on another.
Okay. So that's another, which people that don't read, they don't know that the Tuskegee experiment ended in 1972.
That's right.
People, they just don't know. And they even do damage to the people to the point, even in Flint, Michigan, where the water was filthy and toxic, and it didn't get any notoriety till the news media got wind of it. Why? Why did they do that in Flint, Michigan?
Listen, you have to think about this. You can think about it two ways. One, you can look at it in terms of a racial prospect, or two, you can look at it in terms of an economic situation where they realized that water was there, and what it would take to correct the situation would be humongous on the city or on the county to fix the problem. See, now why did we get that way? Well, that's the $64,000 we debated. Some could say, well, there were black people there and they did it. I think what they did, it was the cheapest means of getting water to the folks. And they didn't have the technology, pipes and stuff. And as a result, they knew that they couldn't fix it. You know, when you're talking about fixing water, you got the pipes, and you got a whole lot of mess. That ain't like fixing a light bulb now.
Well, you know, Dr. Buddha Lee Warren, as we talked about the Indians getting blankets, we were infested with smallpox. We talked about the Tuskegee experiment in Flint. There's some people that believe that their own government will not harm them, and they dropped napalm in Vietnam, and many men came back with problems. But I want to ask you something about the new antidote for the coronavirus that they're coming out. Is it a possibility that they're doing the same thing as they did with those three other examples that I gave you, where they're trying to inject people with the new thing, they chemical potion that needs to be approved by the FDA? Is it a possibility that they're going to do this to the mass population to inject something on them that may?
Well, the way this virus is done is very different from all others. They actually take the DNA from the actual virus, the and I don't want to make it too complicated. Certain parts of the virus, I think it's the messenger mRNA, that is part of the DNA structure. So they took part of that and they put it in this vaccination along with the lung tissue of nanotechnology and lung tissue.
What is nanotechnology?
Well, nanotechnology is, put it this way.
Like little robots or something in your bloodstream?
Well, you can look at it that way in a simplistic way, but nano means very, very small. And it's, you can say it's either, in most cases, it could be a part of a microorganism, or it could be just small parts of particles, and which really don't belong in the body. But it's all experimental. Most important is they're looking at a means of controlling humans through various means. So when you look at, you take why they're injecting heavy metals, aluminum and all that stuff in the air. Well, they knew that they're trying to make the human body conduct certain energies, whereby they can manipulate. In other words, the whole problem with the situation is they want to control the population and reduce the population. So what you would do to reduce a population that's out of control, one of the most effective ways of doing it is through some type of microorganism, virus, bacteria, and that can wipe out a whole population.
So you do not advise people to take the new coronavirus antidote. You don't advise that.
If you, most people, I tell you, if they do the research and they find out what's in that vaccination, they're not going to take it. But most people, when they look at the vaccination, the thing they give them, they're not going to stand because it's written in very technical language, and they just go ahead and take it, you know, just like any other thing, you know. A flu vaccination, you know, that's the biggest scam you ever knew because each year the damn virus change, and you don't know which virus is going to mutate that particular year.
And some people don't understand Johnson & Johnson. It's alleged they have a lawsuit against them because people were using Johnson & Johnson products and later found out the women were getting ovarian cancer. And they don't, some of them don't even believe that. So you do not advise people to take that so-called antidote because they're working, because black life does matter. But you do not advise that. You highly discourage that. Right?
I can't say that because this may be a difference between you getting a job and being out on the street.
So
I'm saying if you
saying it may be mandatory.
Oh, if you work in the health industry, it is mandatory.
Okay.
Whether you're a nurse or stuff, they say, listen, you take this or hit the streets. And you got to eat.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's something that something else I don't understand. I'm trying to figure out what else is the new world or people with the elites and the new people in the new world order. What else are they trying to do? What else?
Well, I tell you, one of the first things is to reduce the population. And two, they want to set up a new world order, more or less on a communist model, where all nations are communists, and you have a dictatorial type of government.
Almost like a Heil Hitler.
Yeah,
okay.
a Russia type of thing. You know, you have no rights. You know, you happen to be in a country that has most people, especially African Americans, they don't understand. Mm-hmm. You're in a country that you have tremendous rights according to that Constitution.
You know, when we look,
let me finish.
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of the abuse, what we call police brutality. If you happen to be in Haiti, or you happen to be in one of these third world countries, or as Trump said, one of these shit countries down there. Listen, they beat the hell out you, and if they make a mistake, see, there's no redress. You ain't getting no suit to sue the what you call. So you are very blessed to come to at this time in this country, because you could have been born in China, and that's one hell of a situation. And if you mess up, like homie do around here, China don't take no mess. They will give you a sentence and cut your organs out while you're alive and sell them. Now, you can't get no worse than that unless you die.
Mm-hmm. I would tell you something. I commend both you and your wife because you know where y'all have tried to warn the masses of people that choose to look at canned television and on YouTube for years about the United States and its decline. And you know what? Take my hat off to you. Y'all were 100% right. Y'all were 100% right. Y'all had the foresight to know that no good was coming out of the United States because it has a cage of an evil bird.
Well, see, all that's by design.
Mm-hmm.
The people that have all the money, they think they want to remake the United States in their own image.
Yes.
That means low wages like they do in China. See, then you have no rights. And you actually, it's like you become a serf. Mm-hmm. So you have a great deal of freedom here in this country.
And you know what's interesting is, you know, with Facebook, Google's, YouTube, all these people there with the artificial intelligence, they are using the algorithms to spy on you. And the people will seem to accept this practice. And would Adolf Hitler be proud? Adolf Hitler had done something like that if he could have?
Oh yeah, if he had the technology that they have, Oh yes, I mean the technology. I mean, you see it every day on TV in the most innocuous sense. The most, you sit there and watch TV, and something flash across the golden arches. Some say, well, you see a blonde in a car. You say, listen, you get this car, you get a blonde, you get a woman. So it's the idea of the what would you call a consumer economy that has to exist. 70% of this economy is consumers, and if they don't spend, this thing crashes. You find out that when they shut it down during that spring there, those 3 months, shut this damn thing. They shut it down, and I told people, I said, it's the done deal, and they came back, and this is two. I said, you can put a knife in this turkey. It's over with.
They're hypnotizing y'all about Christmas too.
Everything.
Buying gifts, buying trees, even eating your Bible. That you shouldn't even celebrate with a tree. And you're buying and you ain't even mentioning the Messiah's name. Y'all, the non-believer is funny to me. But do you have a particular message that you would like to put out to the people? Because we're running low on time. You might want to tell them what time your show comes on, and thank you.
Well, I like to say this. We're going into some terrible times. If you don't believe, just read Revelation's 18th chapter. And that's where we at. The world economy is collapsing. There's no coming back. And see, food shortages, famines, it's going to be stone crazy as people walk the streets. See, stone crazy. And people the only way people can protect themselves is stay in or get CC, conceal and carry, because the normal police function is over with. This thing is beyond it's beyond containment. So what you can do now is start doing things, and I said, first of all, make yourself aware of some of your options. See, people perish for a lack of knowledge. In other words, if the dollar falls, what can you do to offset that for the new currency? See, you ever heard of gold and silver? Do you understand the things that are taking place in this country and what will happen? This is not La La Land, and this is not Disneyland no more. No, so you better wake up and find out what the hell's going on, or else you're going to be in the streets. Yeah. And that is happening now. As a result, let me end up, you have a result right now of over 40 million people unemployed. People have moratoriums on the rent and what's it called. So let me end with this. We on every Wednesday, every Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30 on channel 36, and from 10:30 to 11 on channel 36. And you can contact us at 773-509-8124. That's again 773-509-8124. Our email is Lee, L-E-E, war, or W-A-R, Y-A-H, 45 at me.com.
Okay, and Dr. Lee Warren, I want to, thank you and your wife for always being hospitable to me and inviting me and sharing your forum with me. And you and your wife, y'all more than welcome to come on Underground Railroad anytime. Anything y'all want to discuss, just give me a telephone call,
Well, I want to
I
thank
miss
you.
Boise and all the crew and Harold Davis and all that, and Alderman Jones and Virgil. But you know what? He's welcome to come on because he's been hospitable, respectful of me and my forum, and I'm respectful of him and his forum. So watch his show every Thursday. Peace and blessings be upon you. Give you assalamu alaikum and put your mask on, but it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. It is not. You must think you in Disneyland.
And let me say, before you close, find out what things will strengthen your immune system. What things will strengthen your immune system? That is your fighting armor that protects you from all these type of diseases. If you have a weak immune system, you're food from the beast.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Lee Warren, brother. Okay. Got one guy. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Thank you.